Hello gorgeous flower pots, it's Sunday, it's noon and we're at the kitchen table, which means only one thing, it's time for Sunday service. It's Sunday, let me service you. How are we all today? Are we all well? Good morning, good afternoon and good evening wherever you may be watching me from. And before we set off for today's show, can I just say I am not sending any friend requests from a page. It's impossible to do so. But apparently there's another scam out there. So let me just show you. That is not me. If it was me, I would be able to spell my name properly for starters. So please don't ever accept a friend request from me. With having a page as a public figure, it's not something we can do. And I will never ever message you to say you've won a prize, but first you need to give me money to do so. Also, Sunday service, here we are. Any advice I give today is purely for entertainment purposes. So once again, if it's anything you need to call the police about, call the police. If it's anything that's personal hygiene problems, see a GP. Okay, so I've covered my ass. I've told you about the scam on the market at the moment, and I've also told you all that, you know, if this is just for entertainment purposes. So good morning in Ontario, Canada. Good afternoon here in the United Kingdom, and good evening to all my gorgeous flower pots, including Bronwyn Harrison in that there Australia. So where are you watching me from? Pop it in the comments. Let me know if you're in that there UK like me, what you're having for your Sunday dinner. I've actually got a parcel to be delivered, so if he does knock on, DP fucking D, dickhead, because he will, won't he? I've been in all morning doing fuck all, and then the minute I go live, there'll be a knock on door. I might have to run off. So there we go. Have you been watching my Instagram? Have you been watching it? Do you follow me on Instagram? Antonella Uncensored. Do you follow me on that there Instagram? I did a question and answers yesterday because I had a day in bed yesterday. I was quite poorly. But if you do follow me on that Instagram and you joined me yesterday and kept me company, thank you. So, are we all okay? I can see lots of you sending me some stars, and thank you very, very much. I now understand what they are. I didn't really understand what they were. Someone's just said they're watching me from Darwin, UK. It's only down the road. Well, I'm off to do, after I've done Sunday service, I've got to record a Christmas song for Bolton Panto, because we're not doing Panto, but we're still going to release a Christmas song. So I am recording a Christmas song, which is just quite stupid in itself, really. And then I'm off to my mum's later for a roast beef dinner. So yeah, good afternoon. I think enough of us has joined now, ready for Sunday service. Please keep writing into the page, whether it be a night time with Nelly or a Sunday service. And then I sort of like retrieve them all. Don't look at them. They go into a folder. So then when I read them now live, it's off the cuff. I've no idea what I'm going to read. Hopefully Nighttime with Nelly hasn't got confused with Sunday service, because that's not nice, is it? It's a different show completely, because Nighttime with Nelly's are a bit naughty and there's talk of a sexual nature and there's strong language throughout, but there's strong language throughout on a Sunday service. Hermes, as somebody just mentioned, Hermes, they're a fucking shower of shite, aren't they, talking a strong language. When I get a message saying Hermes will deliver your parcel, I think, oh, well, it could be fucking anywhere in UK then. Anywhere in the fucking UK could Hermes deliver a fucking parcel. So, everything's going absolutely hunky-dory in your Aunty Nelly's life. Thank you very much. Emily Rook has just joined. Hello, Emily. So proud to watch your live last night. She co-hosted with Red Rose Recovery. I'm so proud of my really good friend. She's in recovery and she's doing ever so well, so big shout out to you, Emily. And for anybody else who's watching today's Sunday service, anybody who's struggling with addiction, anybody who's struggling, having a bad day and they're in recovery, it's okay, you're in safe company. If that's fucking DPD, I'll twat the living daylights out of him. Anyway, shall we get on with the first Dear Aunty Nelly of Sunday service? Tell you what's funny as well, I just read a message because I did a live this morning on my Instagram in my pyjamas, my hair on top of my head and my big glasses on, And then I did another live once I'd like straightened my hair, thrown a bit of fucking magnetic lashes on and a bit of fucking slap. And they were like, that is not the same person. I was like, yeah, it is. And they're like, well, you looked horrendous this morning. And I'm like, I will take that as a compliment. To which then they replied, yeah, but you can put lipstick on a pig and it's still a pig. Thank you. Dear Aunty Nelly, I have discovered that my oldest friend is not really my friend. She's not really the friend. She's not really the friend I thought she was. 3 people have warned me that she talks about me behind my back and slags off my husband. She even slags off my children, my cooking, and has a nickname for me. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it is vulgar. I'm so upset because we go back 25 years, but according to people I trust, she believes I'm thick, gullible, ugly, and even said I was unhygienic. I dare not tell my husband of this because he'll hit the roof and tell me not to bother with her. But how can I just do that? What should I do? Any advice would be welcome. Anonymous Flowpot. So you've got a friend, you've been mates for 25 years, and she's now kind of like slagging you off a bit to your other mates, and your other mates who you trust have said, listen, she said this about you, she said that about you. I always think if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. I mean, does it really matter? But now that you know all these things and she's been slagging you off and saying all these vulgar things about you, what do you do about it? Because unfortunately, it does mar your judgment, doesn't it? I would, honestly, personally, won't tell my husband, but I'd certainly tell her. So I'd invite her, oh, Matthew Morley's just joined. Happiest of birthdays, Matthew. Have a wonderful day. So I would ask my friend to come round to my unhygienic kitchen and sit her down at kitchen table, make her a brew in an uncensored cup. And I'd just say, look, I feel really uncomfortable saying this to you because we've been best mates for 25 years, so I don't believe any of it. And I'm not going to tell you where it's come from because it's fucking pointless exercise. But I've been told this, and that you've said this, and that you've said that, and I don't believe it for 1 minute. I sort of make her feel quite uncomfortable and see what she says. And then either she'll say, no, I haven't said it, so not just that, is she disloyal to you, a bit of a wank splat and a liar, if you believe these people, or she'll say, do you know what, I did say that, but I didn't mean it like this, or it'll just make things that uncomfortable that you'll no longer be friends. Because people do change. We do sort of like go from having a load of fucking friends to like, I'm 46 now and can count my friends on one hand. And that's how life is. But you certainly don't want people in your life who are going to slag you off behind your back. Certainly not. I mean, don't get me wrong. What? So your kitchen's a bit untidy and a bit messy. A real friend would come in and say, don't put kettle on, come on, fill washing up bowl, I'll help you clean up. I've been busy with kids, and you just have a chat while you're doing it. But you don't absolutely go around slagging her off to other people. And also, your friends that have told you what she's been saying, why does she feel comfortable to be able to tell them that? So I'd be questioning what they're actually talking about because they won't be telling you the full story. So I think I would here concentrate on your husband and your children, have it out with this so-called friend, and I think you won't just lose her a friend, I think you'll lose 1 or 2 because it sounds to me like this like to stir the fucking pot. And Halloween, we're back in October, you don't need it now. We're coming into New Year, fuck them off. Absolutely fuck them off. Don't take any baggage into New Year with you because if you're hanging around with people like that, fucking rubbish, you'll start to stink. Okay? So I hope that's answered your question. I hope it has. But I always think when people are slagging you off to people, what makes them feel so comfortable to be able to do that? So I'd be questioning everything at the minute. Okie dokie, moving on. Dear Aunty Nelly, our 5-year-old has started ruining everything. Oh heck. She's turned aggressive. Oh, her younger sister is only a baby. She's 3 months old and I can't trust to leave her in the same room as she just hits her. Oh dear God. She ignores us all the time and if she is told no, she's started spitting, hitting or throwing things. When trying to talk to her, she just covers her ears. It's hard to see any good in her as it's as if she's been possessed and our house is no longer a happy home. What can we do? Can I just say, If anybody starts commenting on your comments on here with you've won a prize, it's just a scam. If there's any trolls on here watching, ignore them. Honestly, don't feed the fucking trolls. It's how it is at the minute. People are so desperate in the times that we're in. They're trying to make a quick buck out of people, and they're just getting the kicks out of trolling. Leave them fucking to it. Just enjoy the show, please. Okay, so I'm interested in this one because your little 5-year-old, bless her, has just turned into an evil child. There's no such thing about evil in kids, okay, and she's not been possessed. I'm wondering what happened when this 3-month-old baby was born? What kind of behaviour? Did the behaviour change then? Does the little girl feel pushed out because we've got this new baby? Are you still making time for your little girl as your daughter without the baby? Or is everything revolving around the 3-month-old baby? Because babies are so time consuming. So I think maybe the behaviour here may be because there's this new... I've got something fucking stuck to my legs. It'd be a pubic hair or something, won't it? Well, it's fuck, not in lockdown. So, yeah, I'm thinking, what happened when this little baby was born 3 months ago? Did anything change then with your already existing daughter? And I'm wondering if she's rebelling a bit because she feels like she's not getting the same attention. She's not the only child anymore. So I think it's about taking your daughter out of the equation, just you and her, and making play dates with her so that she feels as important. Because when a new baby comes along, they get showered with gifts and cards and people want to come and see the new baby, and the already existing child sort of like gets pushed out. So I think there might be a lot of jealousy there, and it's so difficult, isn't it? Because the 3-month-old baby will need all your time and attention because that's your job. You've got to do that, like, so it doesn't die. But your already existing child who's 5, who probably can dress herself a bit and probably can feed herself a bit and get a drink and get a toy. Just think about your language with the child that's already there. You know, is it a case of, in a minute, I'm doing the baby, in a minute. So it might be her way of feeling that she's getting attention because she used to get attention before the baby came. Now the baby's here, she may no longer be getting that attention. So I would definitely go back to 3 months ago, what changed, and sort of make her feel as special, which I'm sure she is, as she was then, okay? And the reason she's hitting the new baby, I think, is the jealousy. Okay, my mum could not leave me in a room with our Robbie when he was a baby because I hated him. I fucking hated him. Adam is the most precious person in my life now, but when he was a baby, everyone used to come round and see him, and I thought, I'm going to hit him or pinch him or, you know, whatever to make him cry so that people don't like him, because if he's crying, nobody will want to be with him and they'll come back to me. So my mum will tell you, she never used to be able to leave us alone. So I'm sure I ruined things for a while. But yeah, it will definitely pass as long as you take those steps into making that child feel as important as she was before the baby. And a lot of things that I would say now as well, when you're going around seeing a new baby, which we haven't done this year, but you might do next year, when you're taking a little gift for the brand new baby, take a little bit of something for the existing kids as well, because how must that feel that everyone's showering all this shower of gifts on this new baby and you get fuck all and get told to move out the way and it's all about the baby. So even if it's only a fucking pound mix from shop, take them something. Dear Aunty Nelly, I am really disappointed with my son and daughter-in-law awake. My grandson's a 10-year-old and 8-year-old, and they used to watch them playing out on the street up until earlier this year, but slowly pulled back and allowed them freedom to now play unsupervised with their friends. Oh, 10 and 8, all right. I think they are far too young. My son said he constantly reminds them about stranger danger and they're not allowed to play out after dark. I wonder, am I worrying too much about things? Are things different now? Is my son fed up and no longer cares to watch for them? For my daughter-in-law is always stuck to her phone, so she won't be watching. Are they giving them too much freedom because lots of my other friends' grandkids are not even allowed out? What do you think? Would you have allowed your kids out at this age? Do you know what? It depends on your child, okay? It depends on the maturity of your child. It depends where your child is allowed to play, What is the area like? Is it a cul-de-sac? Are they only playing outside front door? Are they playing in garden? It depends on your environment, because my Olivia wasn't allowed out the fucking gate till she was 11. And that's only because she's an only child, so she was quite immature. She'd no older brothers and sisters to go anywhere with, and there weren't a lot of kids on street for her to play with. Okay, and then when we did get kids on street to play with, Olivia was the one who were in bed at 8 o'clock every night, even in summer, and she was the one saying, I hate you, I don't want you to be my mum, because such a body's out on the street. And I'd be saying, I don't give a shit what Charlie's mum lets her do. You're my child and I'm your mum, and you're in fucking bed. Get back in bed. But it's still daylight. In come blackout blinds. It depends. I mean, you're thinking of all sorts. You're a grandparent. It's your job to care and worry. But I'm wondering whether you've got fuck all else going on in your life, so you're worrying about everything, you're overthinking everything, and you're getting yourself up into a big fucking frenzy. Now, your son and your daughter-in-law used to watch the kids, but they're giving them that little bit of freedom, that little bit of independence. The fact that your oldest grandson is 10 and his brother's 8, he's obviously watching out for him. And I'm sure to God, they're still keeping an eye on them. They're just letting them run a little bit riot on the street. It's probably a cul-de-sac. It's probably a really nice area. There's nothing to worry about. But because you're a grandma, because you're a mum, you worry. That's your fucking job. You never stop worrying. As for your daughter-in-law being stuck to her phone, she might be watching videos of me. It can be quite addictive. Cheeky there, weren't I? So yes, I think it depends on the circumstances. And please, please, please do not be disappointed. They are allowed to parent their children as they see fit to do so, okay? Unless your grandchildren are living in an absolute shithole, the parents are taking drink or drugs daily and not looking after them and not putting a warm meal on the table, a warm, fresh clothes on the back, I think they're doing an okay job. Okay, and it doesn't matter when you go to bingo and fucking Sheila's saying, well, my grandkids are not fucking allowed to play out. Well, no, they might not be, because they might live in a fucking 30-storey tower block. So it doesn't matter what every fucker else is doing. Just stick to your little own, yeah? Just stick to your own. And it is difficult as a parent as well when you've got your kids saying, well, Abby's mum, well, Josie's mum. And I always used to say, I couldn't give a fuck about their mums. I'm your mum, like her a fucking lumpet. And do you know what? Olivia's grown absolutely fine. She's a wonderful human, and we don't even think about those days. So please don't worry too much about their parenting skills unless, like I said, the children are not being fed and fucking watered. Honestly, they've got to have a bit of freedom, a bit of independence. They've got to do. You've got to do as much as it hurts. I didn't want Olivia to go out. Of course I didn't. But you have to. They've got to get a bit of streetwise about them, haven't they? Because when they grow up into adults, oh, God. Well, the trouble will come then, won't they? Because they won't have a fucking clue what they're doing. Okie dokie. Dear Aunty Nelly, I am a young mum. Okay, I were a young mum. I'm 17. I weren't that fucking young. And I worry I'm not able to give my son a good childhood. One example is that I don't have any friends who have children, and I myself am not good at making new friends. I'm a bit awkward. Oh. I did go to a mother and toddler group but felt judged because of my age, so I didn't go again. Yeah. This now means my son doesn't have the chance to meet other children. Sometimes it's just me and him for what feels like forever. I feel like he's not going to develop his skills properly. I live in a flat, but it's a long walk from any park. I don't drive and everything is so expensive. I feel bad for my son because I wonder if he's getting bored. Please give me a kick up the arse and advise me how to be a better parent. Do you know what? And your son's turning 3, so you had him at 14. Do you know what? The fact that you've wrote into me and you're worried about your parenting skills means you're a fucking good parent to start with. It means you're already doing a fucking fantastic job. And can I just take my hat off to you? Because 17-year-old with a 3-year-old, fucking I salute you, sweetheart. That cannot be easy. I were on my own at 21 with a baby. And that weren't easy. I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. And it is hard when you're on your own with a baby and there's not much around you. It's been so difficult this year, it must have been even harder for you. But you know what? You don't have to go to expensive play dates or toddler groups, or I will encourage you to do that, but I'll talk about that in a minute. You can just put your child's wellies on and a fucking raincoat and you can walk up and down the street and pick flowers or pick stones or pick little pebbles or little acorns and bring them home and fucking colour in leaves. There's all sorts you can do with a 3-year-old that will absolutely entertain them. They'll absolutely love it. You don't have to do anything really expensive or fandangled. And I'm sure your child's not getting bored of your company. Your child loves you and wants you and needs you. Make the fucking most of it. As for these mothers in these baby and toddler groups, what? Judging you? Were they actually judging you? Or did you feel uncomfortable because you're judging yourself? Okay, you had a baby at 14 and what? You know, worse things have happened in life. You had that baby. You've now got a 3-year-old son. And it sounds to me like you're doing a fucking belting job. It really does. It sounds to me like you're worried about your parenting skills, which means you care. And you're doing the best you can. I'm 46. I'm still a parent to a 25-year-old. And I still worry about my parenting skills. Because when you're a parent, you never, ever, ever stop worrying. Because it just comes with the job. But honestly, you do not have to go here, there and everywhere and spend a fucking fortune on a 3-year-old. You don't. All these play dates, soft play centres, you can get as much fun just walking up and down the street and picking little bits up. You can. I used to do it with Olivia. I was a single mum. I didn't have a fucking pot to piss in. There were certain days that I didn't have for pride. I could have asked my mum and dad for anything, but I didn't want to keep going to mum and dad's to get fed. So I used to make her tea, and if she left anything on plate, then I'd have my tea as well. And if she didn't, I didn't fucking eat. We've all been in some sort of position as a parent where we put our child first. And the fact that you're asking this question, you're always going to put him first. So I don't mean to make you a better parent. You're doing a fucking amazing job just as you are. Okay? But certainly, go again to a mother and toddler group when they open up. Please go again if you can, and please don't feel judged, because I think it's so inspirational. I don't know why you got pregnant at 14. I don't know. I'm not really interested. The fact is that you've had this baby and you're now a mum. Doesn't matter to me whether you're 17 or you're fucking 49. You're a mum. You're in no different position to them, and you're still going through all the normal parenting perils that we have on a daily basis regardless of age. So you're doing a cracking job, Flower. Find other things to do with your little boy that you don't have to spend money on. Believe me, put his wellies on, go puddle splashing, go and pick a few pebbles and bring them home and fucking paint them. He'll have a fucking ball. And it's little things like that that they remember. They remember shit like that. They don't remember soft fucking play centres. They haven't got a fucking clue. And not so long off now, you'll be going to school and making a whole barrel of fucking friends, and you'll be doing play dates, and you'll be wondering if you can afford all fish fingers for all the kids who are coming for the tea. I hope that's helped you, Flower, because, yeah, fucking hell. I'm 17, my son's turning 3. Can't imagine, but congratulations and well done. Dear Aunty Nelly, I am 22. I used to be 22. I was 22 when I was 22. Oh no, I've read it wrong. I've got my contact lenses in. I've decided that in New Year I'm going to get lens replacement surgery, because I've decided that I'd love to be able to see when I wake up in the morning. It was so nice to see what time it is without having to find my glasses first. Right, dear Aunty Nelly, my mate is 22 and I'm 20. I've known him for a couple of years. During lockdown, we got even closer because we decided to live together. We got so close that we started sleeping together. Ooh, it was amazing. But when lockdown ended, he has now moved in with his so-called girlfriend. And I feel sick every time I see... Oh, excuse me, I did a burp. Another one. I see anything on social media. He still visits me and we still have sex. He still visits me and it's a boy writing in. Ooh. But I feel he is using me, never mind cheating on his so-called girlfriend. How do I move on? Should I completely cut him out my life? My feelings for him are driving me crazy, please help. So there's a 20-year-old lad, oh shit, what have I done there? 20-year-old lad who's got a 22-year-old mate, and they decided to live together in lockdown, and they got really close and they started having a sexual relationship. Lockdown lifted, this lad's gone living with his girlfriend, and this other lad's watching him on social media and thinking, I really like him and now he's got a fucking bird. So the sexuality here to me isn't a question. Couldn't give a fuck whether he's homosexual, bisexual, pansexual, transsexual. The fact is that he's having a bit of his cake and eating it, and because you've got feelings for the lad, then it's really hurting. It's hurting to see him playing fucking happy families on social media, but calling in now and again on a Thursday and like trying to fucking have sex with you. Do you know what I mean? But you're allowing him to because you feel you've got feelings for him. So what you're doing, it's like a bit of self-harm here. Even though you know it's going to really hurt, you're still allowing it because you want that sort of emotional connection with him. So I'm not going to say cut him out your life because he's a mate, but I am going to say have a sit down with him. Next time he comes round, I'm going to say, listen, Flower, I really like you. I can't help it. I've got feelings for you. So if you really like me as a mate, please, 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 will you stay away for a while because I need to sort of detox from you. It's not doing me any good. You're living with your girlfriend, you're cheating on her. I don't want to be with you cheat, and I don't want to be responsible for you cheating. Couldn't give a fuck who else you fuck behind the back, but you ain't fucking me. And that's the way to do it. You could obviously not do the sledgehammer approach like me. You could be a bit more soft, but that's the only way you're actually gonna make sure that you're looking after you, because while you're thinking of him, you put him on this pedestal. And what I always say is, when we have people on pedestals, what are we doing? We're looking up, aren't we? What are they doing? They're looking down. Don't let anybody fucking look down, and you're not fucking ever. Know your worth, Flower. Know your worth. And you will meet somebody. You will meet somebody who will want to have sex with only you. And you'll look back and think, what the fuck were I fucking doing there? Respect yourself, honest to God. But have the conversation because he's a mate. He's a mate. Have the conversation and tell him, this is how I feel. This is not what I want to happen. And please, can you do this? Simple as that. But what I will say to anybody who's watching this, the minute you put anybody on a pedestal, when they become all you're thinking about, they've consumed your every thought, you're chasing them, you're wanting something because you're lacking something, and they're up there and you're down here, you'll always be looking up and they'll always be fucking looking down. Unless you're level pegged, it ain't going to go anywhere, is it? Okay? Moving on. How are we enjoying the show? How's your Sunday service today? I'm having a right nice time. I don't know why I'm bouncing up and down on my chair. I'm fucking sat on nothing except my fucking self. Right. Dear Aunty Nelly, I am forever joining gyms, but haven't got the shame to keep going back as I keep cancelling my memberships. Like, I never get past the first session. I do start out with good intentions though. I live with depression and anxiety, and sometimes I feel so weird that I don't want to go out. I comfort eat all day long and drink every night. Like, I live in town, so it's easy to get my food delivered. Hey, we've just gone on Uber Eats here in Islington. How exciting. We'll have fucking street lights soon. I can see it. I'm running water. Okay, so money is no object. I'm 24 and my friends are all body beautiful and I'm the fat funny one of the group. Hello? Hello? No, I'm the fat funny one of the group. They have no idea I feel the way I do. I really want to start by improving myself, but have no idea how. How did you do it? Can I have some tips, please? Please keep giving me likes, loves and shares, please. I can't see any love. I can't see any love for your Aunty Nelly today. But Jess Pryor says, I'm really enjoying it. Okay, so you're the fat funny one in the group. You do try and make improvements by going to the gym, but then you start something and you think, fuck it, I'll get a pizza tonight and drink a bottle of JD. Okie dokie. What we need to do here is just fucking calm down. Fucking calm it. Couldn't give a shit about your mates who are 24 and fucking body beautiful. What I'm bothered about here is your cycle of anxiety and depression that is stopping you from going out on certain dates and that is giving you a really, really negative body image about how you feel about yourself and how you think other people may perceive you. So I think you're being the fat funny one in the group so that people see you as funny and a good laugh, and that's not really you, is it? And you're not being honest and open. So if you're not being honest and open with these people, are they even really friends if nobody's noticed? What I want you to do is stop going and joining gyms. I want you today, if you can, if you're watching, Maybe not have a takeaway tonight. Maybe go for a little walk this afternoon, because eat less and move more. So how about on a daily basis, you just go for a little walk? Only has to be to Endett Street, but tomorrow you might walk to Endett Street and a bit further. So a little bit more mobility. If you're having a takeaway tonight, take a picture of it, don't have one tomorrow. Because I will guarantee you, I'll sit here and go, I'm having a chippy tea tonight because I ain't fucking had one for ages. Look in my phone because I take a photo of every last cheat meal. I go, you had one on Tuesday, Aunty Nelly. Fucking Tuesday, it weren't ages ago, it was fucking Tuesday, not even a week ago. So if you're having a takeaway tonight, then don't have one again in the week. Maybe make it a weekend thing. And believe me, when you start rewarding yourself because you've been good in the week, oh God, does it taste even better. It is so good because you're treating yourself. You deserve that and you enjoy every bit and savour it. But if you're having takeaways every fucking day and drinking every night, you're not even bothering, are you? You're not even bothering tasting what you've ordered. And you've just got yourself into a bad habit. So rather than giving it all guns blazing and thinking, today, I'm going to fucking cut everything out, start the gym, do that. It's too much, Flower, it's too much. Small steps. So I'd say today, go for a little walk. And if you're thinking, I can't go out, go to Endett Path. Just go to end of your road and come back. Because that's more than just sat on your ass, isn't it? You're doing better than anybody who's just sat on the fucking sofa doing fuck all. And then tomorrow, you might want to do a little bit more. And a little bit more. And before you know it, you're like going round block and you're thinking, fucking hell, I can do this. And that makes you feel so much better. You're getting fresh air in your system. You're getting a bit of vitamin D, depending where you live. I mean, here, we have to take vitamin D and tablets. But anyway, but getting out and about. And honestly, cut down on your takeaways. Go for healthier options. And you're drinking. Why are you drinking every night? What you're trying to do, put yourself to sleep, mask the pain. You know, there's lots of things you can do for self-help. But I also advise you to go and see a general practitioner. Go and see a doctor. Tell them how you feel. They may even put you on some sort of gym membership where you're not having to pay for it. Because they do that a lot with anxiety and depression and people with weight problems. You know, they encourage you to go. And then you get your own personal trainer. You know, there's lots that can do here. But certainly, try not to have that takeaway today and go for a little walk. That's all you have to do today. And all we ever have to think about is today. Make better choices today. And you know what? If you have a fucking Indian for your tea and a fucking Chinese for your supper and 17 bags of jelly babies, that's okay. It's okay. Just don't do it tomorrow. Make better choices the day after. But always start your first day with, I'm going to try today to make better choices. Try. Don't beat yourself up if you fall off. It doesn't matter. You've always got tomorrow. Okay? So that's what I advise you to do because that's what I did. When I was 22.5 stone and bedbound and could only walk to the toilet and back with stopping 3 times and having to suck on my fucking blue, that's what I started doing. I started getting out of bed even if I didn't want to wee, and I just started walking a little bit and that little bit more. And that little bit more. And before I knew it, I'd been able to walk downstairs. I still needed my inhaler, but not as much. And then I started walking to Endett Path. Then I started walking to Endett Street. I weren't doing hills by then because hills, fucking hell, they used to kill me. I just stopped breathing. But I started doing little things and people say, hey Nelly, where are you going? Just for a little walk. And they say, good on you. And when I started feeling a little bit more active and a little bit more mobile, I then started looking at my food and thinking, you do not have to eat for 17 people. You are a person. Maybe cut down your 17 portions to 14, to 11, to 10. Now I eat for 3, I'm very honest about it. I was super morbidly obese and I went to being super obese and then I went to being morbidly obese and then now I'm obese. And if I can get to overweight, cracking. But as obese now, I don't have to lie down in bed every night with a machine to help me breathe because they stop breathing. And I can actually walk a little bit more than what I used to. And I get in that gym there sometimes. You know, when you're looking at your takeaway menus as well, there's always healthy options, so try and go for them. Okay? Yeah. having right nice time. I absolutely love going live because the way things are at the moment, we're living on my own. The only person in my bubble is my mum. However, I have been doing a lot of Zoom dates. Oh yes, your Auntie Nelly's in sat here at night in a negligee with a glass of wine doing Zoom dates. So I look like this, but I'm not wearing any pants. Anyway, moving on. Dear Auntie Nelly, my girlfriend keeps trying to move in with me. Oh heck. She now has a drawer and a shelf all of her very own. And keeps leaving things each time she sleeps. Oh, I've got burps. Each time she sleeps over. But I'm not ready to live with someone else. I love having my own space. I don't mind her staying over now and then, but I feel like she's pushing me towards moving in, then marriage, then kids. I like her and I like doing things with her, but I'm not deeply in love with her. I'm not sure how to approach this with her. Maybe I don't see it working out. I don't have the heart to tell her. What can I do? I mean, I'd never leave anything over at a lad's house because I'd be frightened that, you know, I'd have one of my episodes in week, quit him, block him and then not get it back. Suppose not everyone's like me. Maybe she does see a future with you. Maybe she feels really comfortable and thinks she can. Maybe she's spending more time at your house than you are at his. Maybe she lives with her parents and thinks, well, I'm coming back on Friday, so I'll leave my cleanser because I've got one at home. Or I'm coming back on Friday, so I'll leave my toothbrush because I've got one at home. And I'll leave a spare pair of pyjamas because I've got one at home. So maybe she's doing it, not really thinking about what she's doing, and you're panicking. So one thing we need to do here is communication. How long have you been together? Are you even at the point in your relationship where you think, do I love her? Have you said I love you? You know, with the fact that you're not in love with her doesn't mean to say you won't be. But I think sometimes it's important to tell our partners to fucking slow down. Slow down. This is going a bit too fast for me. And I think a great indicator of that is, no, what you're doing this weekend, shall I come round on Friday? No, I just need a bit of time to myself this weekend, I've got shit to do. And sort of like just, you know, you can tell when someone's taking the break, putting the brakes on things, can't you? But I certainly would have that conversation and just say, look, I love you coming over and staying over, don't we have a great laugh, you know, I don't mind. But, you know, even make a joke of it and say, fucking hellfire, you brought your toothbrush, you brought your pyjamas, you've got a fucking shelf. What's going to happen here? Removal van coming on Tuesday and dropping your stuff off, because we're not at that stage. There's all different ways we can do it without offending somebody, without breaking the heart. The fact that you said you don't want to break her heart, does that mean that she likes you a damn sight more than you like her? Because if that's the case, Lauren May wanted a shout out. If that's the case, then please tell her, please be honest with the girl, because it's tight and it's proper tight. If you don't see a future with her, then what you're fucking about with her for, tell her and just say, look, this relationship's going way too fast for me. Love me own space, don't mind you coming round now and again, but I can't see it being anything else but that at the minute. And that, you know, and as much as she might feel hurt, upset, rejected, you're doing the kind thing. You're being cruel to be kind in a sense there, you know, because she might even say, no, I know, but I've only left my toothbrush because fucking pointless and we can keep carrying one around when I've got one at home. You know, unless you communicate with her, you've no idea what she's thinking. And we sometimes know what our partner's thinking. We haven't got a fucking clue because we're not septic peg, all right? So communicate with her, please. Talk to her. Find out what the fuck's going on. What does she think's going on? Have the conversation. Are you in a situationship? Does she think you're in a relationship? Have that talk. What are we? What are we? What do you see this being? And the sooner you have that conversation, the better you're going to feel and all your anxieties will go. Yeah? Because I've been in loads of situationships because I don't like getting into relationships. Because when I get in relationships, right, I get engaged just because, like, they'll say, do you want to marry me? And I think of, like, cake, wedding cake and engagement rings and engagement cake. So I go, oh, yeah, go on then. And then when I actually think about what I've actually said, when I was just, like, fucking in love with cake, all different cakes, I actually have to say, no, actually, I didn't want to get married to you, really. I was just thinking about cake. So you're always better just being honest. And as hard as it is to say to that person, look, it's not what I wanted. This isn't what I want. It's better. It's better because I'm sure all them men that I've been engaged to and got a collection of engagement rings from, I'm sure they'd wanted someone to actually say yeah to them rather than cake. Do you know what I mean? So we all learn by our mistakes, don't we? We all learn, and it's all, every day's a school day. So the next man that I meet that I like, I'm going to make him promise not to ask me to marry him. Because I don't struggle with getting men to want to marry me. That's not the struggle. They then struggle to try and, like, I don't know, get me down aisle. Because when things get a bit serious, fucking runaway bride. Dear Aunty Nelly, my 16-year-old spends a lot of time when not at school in his bedroom. Is that not normal? He has no friends at all. He recently agreed to hang out with a group of boys, but said he wouldn't do it again because they smoke weed. Very clever. We can't talk to him, he comes down to eat, but generally eats in silence and then disappears to his room again. He might appear again for a snack. When we go to bed, he's still up, the lights are on, computer's on, and I have no idea what time he goes to sleep. I did pay for him to have guitar lessons, but he was doing really well, but just stopped going. He just doesn't want to do anything except look at computer screen. What can we do to help him? He might be in that bedroom fucking knocking one out all fucking night long. He's 16. I think it's quite normal for teenagers to want to spend a lot of time in the bedroom. They do this gaming. They have these headsets on. They speak to people all around the fucking world. So once again, he's only 16 and it might sound like he's getting quite, a young adolescent man, but he's not. He's still a boy. So it's about, obviously, putting parental controls in place and saying to him, listen, I don't mind you spending time on your computer, but at 10 o'clock at night, everything gets turned off because we're all going to bed. So turning off the Wi-Fi so he hasn't got access to it. That's a bit brutal, I think you're all probably thinking. Yeah, it's a bit brutal, that, Aunty Nelly. That's not nice. But also trying to encourage him. You say that he's got no friends. His friends might be like all around the world on them fucking COD headset things. Like my two nephews, when they were 16, they never come out the bedroom. They never come out the bedroom, but they had friends online or whatever they were fucking doing. And I'm sure they were knocking one out as well, left, right and fucking middle, because they're 16 and the body's going through all sorts of changes. And it's normal for a 16-year-old to not want to talk to his parents. But once again, you're the parents. It's about having control and setting rules and standards. When you come to the dinner table, you don't bring any devices and we talk as a family. When we can't trust you to go to bed at a certain hour, then I will turn the Wi-Fi off. Then you haven't got access to it. So it's about, rather than sit there worrying, thinking, oh God, he's no friends and he's always in his bedroom. I think that's probably 90% of parents with 16-year-old boys. They will be in the bedroom, whether they're gaming or knocking one out. That's what they do. And they don't really want to talk to you because you're not cool and you're a bit weird. You're the parents. They don't see you as like someone to talk to. The fact that he wanted to do guitar and then he fell out with it might not have been the thing he wanted. Speak to your child, communicate to your child. They may feel really uncomfortable because you're speaking to them and trying to hold eye contact, but speak to them. You were right good at guitar lessons. What happened, mate? Be the mate. What happened? What were it? Is it piano lessons you wanted? Do you want to do karate? What's going on? You've no mates, you have, I fucking have. Say something so that they respond. I speak to James, he lives in Dubai, and I speak to Roger, he lives in Australia, whoever it may be. Speak to your child. It sounds to me like there's no communication. And when he's sat at the kitchen table and he's eating, and you're thinking, oh, he's not talking. Why is he not talking? Communicate, get on his level. Talk about the next new games that are coming out on the market. Ask him what he's doing in that bedroom. Feel that you can walk in at any time after knocking. Make it clear to him that he's a person who's living in your home. These are your rules and he needs to stick by them. And because rules are shit and rules are made to be broken, but when you're in your parents' home, there are certain things we need to do, aren't there? So, I think it's just communicating with lad And I think making him feel like he's an adult as well, and giving him the option of, look, I want you to go to bed at a suitable hour, and if you don't, and I see your light on at 2 o'clock in the morning when I've gone for my third piss at night, then I'm going to switch Wi-Fi off, so it's up to you, mate. So give him a chance to be responsible and adult-like, and communicate with him. Try and open up a line of communication that may interest him at dinner time. Because if we start talking about things, I mean, my mum will start talking about things now that don't interest me. I'm 46 and I just think, oh, for fuck's sake, and I switch off, and I'm 46. So try and get on his level, communicate a bit more with him. Even though you're his mum and he's not your mate, try and be a bit of a mate. Try, you know, don't overdo it and think you're cool, because he'll just clam up and never speak to you again. But yeah, be a bit of a mate to him and just see what's going on. So that's been today's Sunday service. Who's enjoyed it as much as I have? Because I've had a fucking ball. I really have. I've had a ball. And I'm really, really pleased that you've all joined me and watched it with me. I really appreciate your attendance. I'm now going to go and record a song with the Christmas panto lot. Sam Warren, once again, you will never get a friend request from anybody who's a public figure. It just doesn't happen. We cannot send friend requests. We also do not send pages or competition things to your comments saying you've won a prize, competition winner. Click here. It's clickbait. It's a scam. It will never be me. Or if I am ever doing a giveaway, I'll be doing it like this to my audience. It will never be anything like that. And please always check, because they're spelling my name completely wrong. One thing I can do is spell my name. I might not be able to add up, but I know how many L's are in my fucking name, quite a lot. So, yeah, if you get any scams, any comments, any prizes, giveaways, competitions, it's not me. Just fucking report it and block it. Do not ever give your bank details to anybody, and that would include